Hey guys, I have a new EDC video for you. Plenty of changes as you can see here. First let's talk about the gun. Still carrying the full-size Glock 17 9mm 19 round magazine here. It's a 17 round with the +2 base plate. Still have the same ammunition in there, which is Federals, I believe 135 grain jacketed hollow points. I did practice with this ammo a little bit just to make sure that it's going to feed through my gun properly, which it did. No problems at all. I'm actually going to venture in the future into some different ammo. I want to try some Corbon ammunition. I heard very good things from Humans for Targets and as well as on the forums, gun-related forums. So I definitely want to try that out. Quick little note, I talked to a lot of different gun experts and they all said not to worry about changing your ammunition out. I was talking about, when handling the ammunition, the oils from your skin, which is naturally very salty, could kind of corrode or get some moisture in your primers and make them, fail. And from the people I've talked to who've been dealing with guns their whole life, I mean, these guys are in their 40s and 50s, they've never seen the problem. All the people I've talked to, they've never seen bad primers because of that. And actually, someone directed me to a very good website. I think it was Boxo Truth. Don't remember the exact link, but they had some very good information on different gun myths and stuff like that. They do a bunch of testing, and they drenched a bunch of different ammo with a bunch of different oil to see if that was true or not, and it turned out it didn't affect it, even after sitting on there for weeks on end. So you don't have to really worry about changing your ammo out like I thought, which is good news because this defensive ammo is very expensive. So anyway, same magazine. I did venture into the thought of carrying a spare mag. Decided not to. Just didn't need the extra bulk or weight. With this, I'm totally fine with this. I do not carry +1. You can see here, nothing in the chamber. I did, however, carry +1 for 3 days. 3 days I carried +1 with the trigger guard in here, which I showed you, that safety block. But I'll be honest, I walked around like an 80-year-old man, very careful not to bump into things, getting in and out of my car. I was just very uncomfortable with the idea that I had a round ready to go. Even though I had the safety block in there, and there's pretty much no way it was going to, fire without me wanting it to, I just didn't feel comfortable with it. Not until I get a proper holster. So I nixed the idea, so just to keep you guys updated with that. I do have a very nice holster in mind. I'm working on getting that right now. Just, funds are low. Money's tight for everyone right now. So that might take a little bit of time, but I do have one in mind, and hopefully I'll get that, be able to get a video for you. But I'm kind of excited about that. As far as new guns in the future, again, money is extremely tight. Don't really have the money to go out and buy a new gun. Although, as you saw, I am selling one of my knives, the custom Balisong, which I actually have a buyer for, but I haven't gotten a payment yet. So hopefully that'll go through. I want to save up and get a subcompact Glock for my summer carry. When I'm wearing lighter clothes, I don't want my gun printing through when I'm just wearing a t-shirt, stuff like that. Also, I'm taking in consideration that I'll be wearing shorts. Sometimes I'm not going to be wearing a belt, so I don't want a bigger, heavier gun, that's going to pull my pants down. So I am thinking about different options as far as that's concerned. Still teetering, in my mind, which models. I mean, for a while I was thinking the Glock 30 or the Slimline Model 36. They're both subcompacts, chambered in 45 ACP. I figure if I go smaller, I might as well up the caliber, right? But then I was thinking, well, I kind of want a Glock 26 because same size, subcompact, same as a 30, although it's still 9mm. And not only is it economical because I can use the same cheaper 9mm ammo as I do with my Glock 17, but I can use the exact same mags. So if that's the case, if I do get a Glock 26, what I'll do is I will carry the 26 with the standard 10 or 12 round magazine, and I will carry a spare Glock 17 mag. So in the very rare occasion that I get into a gunfight where the initial shots don't do the trick, and now myself or the attacker or both are standing behind some kind of barricade, or blocking themselves, and then, it's a gunfight situation back and forth, I will have a full, 17 rounds or 19 rounds on top of my 10 or 12 round magazine that's in the gun. So, still pondering a bunch of ideas, but right now this hasn't changed anything, as of yet. Still carrying this, still working out perfectly fine for me. So next let's talk about, by the way, I will just take this out just for safety reasons. As you guys know, it's good to be safe with your guns, so you know it's unloaded. Off to the side. Okay, now let's talk about my keys a little bit. A couple revisions on my keys. First thing I did was I centralized all my tools on a separate split ring, so if at any point I could take just the keys off very easily, so they're not kind of mixed and matched. I thought that was a good idea. As far as the tools itself, a couple changes here. As you can see here, I have my little Pico Widgie bar. Absolutely love this. Since I put this on maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I already used it twice, so that was perfect. I still have my cheap little Photon knockoff keychain light. Just always good to have another source of light. Then I have my little split P, which is working out fantastically. You can see on the keys here how minimal the bulk is, which is awesome. And then the last little thing here is actually a bird knife that someone sent me. I have this residing on the smallest S-beaner from CountyCom, the smallest one they make. Basically because I can easily take the actual knife off my keys if I needed to, in case the keys are a little bit bulky hanging there for whatever I'm cutting with this. So that's really cool. I forget off the top of my head which model this is. Bear with me just a second here. Let me see. I have the box here. Alright, this one's a Starling. This model here is the Spyderco Starling. Like I said, very, very generous viewer sent this to me along with a couple other knives. Very, very nice. I think I'll do a full review on this knife in the future. Very, very affordable. A little tiny keychain light, as you can see here, not very big overall, but great value. You have that 8CR13 MOV steel on this one, and extremely affordable. I mean, Spyderco's website, I think, shows them on sale for $10 or $11. You could probably find these things for like $6 or $7 out there. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. So, great little bargain. I switched out my Benchmite, and actually, I can really tell the difference with the weight. That Benchmite 2 is a fantastic knife, and I still really, really recommend it. Absolutely love it. But it is all metal, and it is heavy, compared to this. I mean, it's not heavy in general because it's so small, but it's a heavier knife. This has the FRN handles, of course, no liners or anything. Just super light in comparison. So I really like that. Very nice addition. The cutting edge on both those knives are almost identical. Same length. So that's pretty much it. That's my keys. Totally happy with it. Bulk is still very, very minimal. I can put these in my pocket comfortably. And yet I still have a nice variety of tools. Light, fire, I can pry crap, cut stuff. So very happy with this little setup here. Next thing I'll talk about real quick, also from CountyCom. You guys know I'm a huge fan of CountyCom. Just like I said before, almost every single item on their entire website I can have a use for or I'm interested in one way or another. This one here is the Adanac Navigator 2. If you're into digital watches, this is awesome. Really, really cool. I don't know the price off the top of my head. I think it's around the, I want to say $75 range on sale. I want to say like between $50 and $75. Of course, you can go to the website. I was thinking about doing a full review on this watch, although CountyCom already has a fantastic video that goes over all of its features. Adanac, the company, kind of a spin-off. They're a Canadian company, and if you noticed, Adanac is just Canada, spelled backwards, which I didn't realize right away. I was kind of looking at it and it just kind of dawned on me. But what's really cool is this has the built-in compass feature. Totally digital with your degrees on there. So right now, my little review table here is facing 45 degrees northeast, which I know is true because I've actually checked this this direction with many different compasses before. So that is accurate. Of course, if I turn this, you can see the degrees change and the actual on top the direction. So just a really cool watch. Again, CountyCom has their own video on this. They go over all the features. Their website has all the features. Very cool. It's actually very large. You can see their big face on that on my wrist. I mean, I don't have little arms, but you can see. I mean, this is kind of like the digital version of their JSAR. I mean, just big manly watch. And like I said, if you're into the digital watches, this is the one to have for sure. Alright, now I want to show you this. This is actually something you can't buy this pouch. I'm actually going to a review very soon on a new flashlight. It's actually this flashlight right here. I'll post that review right after this video, so that, you know, because you guys of course are going to be interested. Like, what the heck's that? This is actually a Altus Lumen flashlight, the Pad L model. Very cool. I'll have a full review I'll do after this video, so you guys can check that out. But this is actually the pouch that comes with this flashlight. Okay, and I've found a great use for this pouch. Not only just to carry the light, but in this case, I want to show you some other items that I'm experimenting with here. First thing is the knife. I just want to show you that you can carry. This is the Spyderco Tenacious. You can carry a medium to large size fixed blade, or excuse me, folding knife right in that front pouch. I, however, do not. For muscle memory, I always keep my knife in my front right pocket, no matter what. I always have my main knife there. But I just want to show you that you can use that for that. What I'm carrying in here, in the back portion of this, I'm carrying my cell phone and the second zippered pouch here. By the way, both these pouches are very well padded. And in the front here, I have three little items. I have my Phoenix L1D pre-flashlight. I have my little combination small Phoenix, the EO, and the Swiss Army knife, as well as that little Scripto lighter. So I have a good little variety here on my waist. I've actually been carrying this on my belt, on my left side of my body. It's only a little bit bigger than the actual cell phone case I was carrying for a while. So I keep all this stuff out of my pockets. So it's actually been really, really good. I actually like it a lot. Like I said, you can't really buy just... I'm not sure, maybe you can go to Altus Lumen's website and just buy this pouch, but I don't think so offhand. But you can get something similar to this from, say, Night Eyes. Night Eyes sells a bunch of different, you know, kind of side pouches like this, very similar in size. And they're usually like under 15 bucks. They're not very expensive. So that's what I've been carrying. Like I said, kind of experimenting here and there, trying different things, always trying different things. Never know what I'm going to like. So far, this has actually been working out very well. The weight on this, with this particular load in here, is not very heavy at all. I don't notice it much at all. Like I said, I keep this on my weak side, knife's in my front pocket. Of course, my Glock is clipped to my inside my waistband, and just absolutely love it. Last thing I want to talk about real quick, if I can move this stuff out of the way, are my new hat that I got. Ordered this from Glock's website. No, excuse me, not Glock's website. I ordered this from glockparts.com. Very simple, black baseball cap, Team Glock, and you have the Glock logo on the back. Like I said in my hat video, not a huge fan of hats, used to be, but actually kind of getting back into them. And since I got this hat for my collection, I started wearing it, and I kind of miss wearing a hat. So it's actually very comfortable. Hats are funny. It's hard to get something. Sometimes they sit too high in your head, sometimes they're too low. So even though sometimes they look cool, but they're not very comfortable. But this happens to be very comfortable for me. And when I'm not wearing this, because it is winter time, I got 3 watch caps from CountyCom. Now these are so worth the money. I was going to do a video on these, but there's not all that much to say to have its own video. But as you can see here, they have 3 different colors. You get black, ACU gray, or OD green, olive drab green. These are only $3.50 each. And these are 100% acrylic. Okay, these are actually, you know, Army issued watch caps. We got the tag in here. Actually, oh, I pulled the tag out of the green one. See if I get the tag in here. Nope, pulled it out of there. Black one still has a tag. As you can see here, made in the United States. Says genuine government style watch caps, and it is 100% acrylic. What's the advantage to that? Well, these do not itch. I've had some of these, you know, you can call them beanies, or, you know, I've never really used the term watch cap. I used to always call them beanies myself. But I had a couple cool different ones, you know, over the last couple of years. But for some reason, you know, they're kind of itchy. A lot of times they're polyester mix. These are, like I said, 100% acrylic. They are very, very comfortable, very warm. I love them. Very good. So I've been switching back and forth again from my little baseball cap here, which I love, my Glock cap. This with my Glock sweatshirt, I feel like, you know, the cat's meow. If you, you like that little saying there. But, yeah, but when it's cold out and the wind's blowing, I'll throw on one of these, and these are just fantastic. Again, for $3.50, if you guys are placing an order over there for some other stuff, you might as well look into these. They're definitely worth the money. But that's pretty much it. That's all my stuff. You know, it's always changing, guys. You know that. I'll probably have new stuff next week. I have still been carrying my Tenacious on and off. I carried my the new Centofonte 3 because I want to do a review on that, but I'm still teetering back and forth between both knives. I am trying to get more run time with the Centofonte 3 again, so I can have a very thorough, good review on it, which I will have soon. So, once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. Always appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.